Hope that's everyone back in. A bit of an issue with the stream there. Yeah, hopefully that buffering issue should be sorted. But let me know in the chat if you're still having issues. Okay. Yeah, it's saying it's okay at my side. Twitch is still being a bit weird about it. So hopefully that will fix itself in a second or two. All right. Yeah, hopefully you can see a bit better now. But do let me know in the chat if there's still issues going on. I think I fixed it from my side. Always a bit tricky to tell with Twitch though, because it takes a while for it to update. Okay. All right. So we've got kind of the effect I was looking for here. We do have a little bit of shadow aliasing. Probably because I've told the shadow to be quite long. Kind of the shadow distance to be quite long. Now, where would that live? Time distance field global illumination meshes. Okay. Where would that live? Ooh. There we go. Stick that on as well. Have a nice, nice unnecessarily foggy room with global illumination on. Man, that default density is a real high. Ah, that's fun. Anyway, yes, we don't need that. That's just that's me being silly and pressing buttons. Yeah, okay. Twitch seems to be happier now. So we had. Take that world environment one away again. Should I like one away again? Let's move this down to, because normally when you're doing shadows, the smaller this value can be while it still looks good, you'll see the crisper the shadows are. Interesting. Let's make the sun a bit brighter as well, to really make it pop a little bit. And let's give it a slightly orangey hue, so we get kind of those late night vibes, twilighty, going into you know, sort of going into sunsetty time. Interesting about... Yeah, I wonder what environment it's using by default. The global illumination technique it's using by default. Fine, add that. Add that. See how that looks. Oh yeah, now because we're a bit further away from the table, that shadow distance isn't enough. So let's make that 150. Material to reflect. It could be. It could also just be that it's being a bit weird while it's doing it in the editor. One thing I want to check is which screen spaced indirect lighting. Yeah, 'cause I think the one that I was reading about that said it was better was Voxel. It's the Voxel GI. Sufficiently thick walls to avoid light leaks. Yeah, I don't think it was this one that I was wanting to use, but I don't know how you turn on the Voxer one. Let's have a look, see. Create a voxel GI node. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh, I see. It literally is using a bunch of voxels to do this. Okay. Oh, so we want this to be, I guess, covering our scene as good as possible. Select the voxel GI node and click bake. Sure. I mean, to be fair, that does look quite nice. Apart from the fact we've got light leaking around the top. Although it's still, why are you complaining? If I did bake it. Yeah, thank you, VFig. I will fiddle with that in a second. The reason I was looking at voxel, the voxel one, is I think voxel is the one that can deal with stuff moving through it, but I'm not 100% sure now. Yeah, voxel GI, fully real-time. Indirect lighting reflections are real-time. Dynamic objects can receive GI and contribute it to it. SDF GI cascades generated in real time. Dynamic objects can receive it but not contribute to it. Okay, so if I go into here then, I guess I probably want to turn that one off. I think it's currently doing both of them, which is probably quite wasteful. Oh, hi there. Thanks for joining us. It is afternoon over here for myself. Good morning to you. All right. The puzzle room. Yeah. So we can probably do maybe knock this down a couple to see if that helps with the light leaks. A little bit. We're not going to be looking up there, so I don't think it matters. You have SSAO turned on. No, I don't. Do I? Like, I can turn it on now. Maybe. I'm not sure where it's best to look for Unity help. I used Unity in the past, but I'm doing these streams to learn Godot from having used Unity. But there's a lot of really good resources out there for Unity. In particular, you can look up, the Unity has a really good tutorial set of things on its website, which is where I learned back in the day a lot of basic stuff. Okay, something is being upsetting Godot now. That's annoying. So what I might do is I might just close this, reopen it again, see if that frees up the files. There we go, that seems happier again. If you're talking about that, that's kind of, yeah, that probably is just from the global illumination, how it works in this. But I think it should work better for what we want than this one. Yeah, I do prefer how voxel GI looks. But anyway, that's cool. That's cool. That's pretty easy to implement and get going. I guess we will make this even thicker. See if that then stops the light leaks. Absolutely not. Might be these. Well, no, basically I'm using units. It's not actually 1 meter. That doesn't mean anything in any game. They've just taken their unit system and put they've just taken their coordinate system and put a unit on it. It doesn't actually mean anything. And when I come to do maths later on with the actual board, it's much easier for moving stuff around and determining stuff and mapping stuff if I just have it on a unit grid. So that's what we're doing. If that causes me huge amounts of issues later, yeah, but I'm not using physics, so I don't give a toss about physics. Mainly because every 3D physics thing is a bit guff, and they all vaguely annoy me because they never quite work how I want, so I don't really care. And it's a really important thing to remember, VFig, that the way you develop is not the way other people develop. And I found this a lot when I'm teaching. Everyone has their own kind of standards, and 99% of the time it doesn't matter if they know at least roughly what they're doing. Now, I don't know roughly what I'm doing, and this all might go horribly wrong, but that's part of the process. Alright. I think what I want to do is actually get some code in now. I want to preview you, but I want to do this. So I can then move the camera in here, move it up a bit, and let's rotate it so it's looking down a bit. Well, that's fine, and I'm sure that works really well for what you wanted to do with that technique. I've set it up like this. I'll see how it goes, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Why is the lighting casting completely differently there and in the scene? Is this because I now have... Directional light 3D. Don't know why that's looking so different when I play it. Don't want the light. I want the light to definitely pass over the whole thing. So yes, I probably just need to slightly tweak its rotation. Nope, wrong way. Let's try that, see if that's any better. Yeah, it'll probably do for now. Yeah, I'll probably do for now. So I do feel like I should probably do a bit of coding rather than just all the layout stuff we've been doing. Although having said that, I probably do need to actually define my pieces first as well. And make visuals for my pieces. That's going to be a bit time consuming. So instead, I think what I want to do is play with some raycasting to see if I can select things in the scene through the kind of diegetic way I like to do it with these things. So I think the easiest way to simulate that is to put some stuff in the scene that I can click on and turn on and off. Let's get that away for now. And put a sphere mesh in. going to use this as kind of a bit of a fake light bulb. So, I find it very weird that you define it as radius and height in the sphere. Anyway, by avoiding physics, you avoid a major pain point in Godot 4. Good to know. I've tried using 3D physics in a bunch of engines, and it's like Box 2D in 2D physics always seems to work really nicely. The 3D physics always has so many issues with clipping and things. Okay, let's do this light material. And if we now go into this, let's put it on there first. What I want is for this to be mostly white, a slight yellow cast, and I want it to be emissive. I want it to emiss the same colour. Oh, no. And we've put glow on when we added stuff. Question is, does this now add... So yeah, we're getting kind of a nice little bloom effect around it. But we also want that to add to our global illumination. I don't think it is. Oh no, I think it is actually. I'll have to add. You know what? Always a good way to show is just hit it hard as possible. It does seem to be adding into, although I'm not sure if that is just the bloom or not. Either way, the other way you can do this is we just give it something like this, and then inside of it we put in like an Omni light, and then that should do lighting. We still have that colour in. Give me that. Energy. We don't want to do size. We want shadows. Cast real-time shadows. Significant form costs. Yeah. Okay. Strength multiplier. Oh, it's up there. That's what I was looking for. Change the range. So it's definitely casting lights because you can see the shadow over there. I wonder if it's part of the issue is the sunlight is just completely overwhelming it. So if I turn off the directional light, yeah, so it looks like the sunlight's energy is just being the biggest kind of contributor to the scene. Anyway, I am distracting myself. So, what I want to add to here is a collider, I guess. Collision shape 3D. I want this to be a sphere shape. And I want this to be a radius of 1 as well. Only serves a collision shape to a collision object 3D derived node. Please only use it as a child of area 3D, static body 3D, rigid body 3D, character body 3D to give them shape. Okay. Okay, I'm glad it's new. I'm not 100% sure it's as helpful as they want it to be. I literally just want something that I can collide with, that I can raycast into the scene against. So I guess I probably need to put it as a child to a static body 3D. That'll probably make it happy. So there's our collisions. Ray pickable. A pickable object can detect the mouse pointer entering, leaving. The mouse inside it reports input events. Requires at least one collision layer bit to be set. Okay. Okay, well, let's create a script. No, yeah, I'm aware of static body 3Ds naming issues. It's the same in most 3D physics stuff. Drag. You know what? Stuff it. We are going to put something on camera 3D, I think. I'm just going to call it game controller. It's going to be in C#. We're going to give the normal node stuff. Okay. So, this is where I now have to do some looking of stuff up. And reading up about raycasting quickly. Raycast 3D. That sounds useful. back. Yeah, it's going to do perpendicular down from the camera. So instead, I'd want that to do into the scene. But that will only really work, I guess, if I'm moving the camera. Whereas what I really want to do is aim a ray down towards the mouse. Into 3D with mouse position. Some very unhelpful questions on forums. It's the only slight issue sometimes when you look up things for Godot in particular, you get a lot of answers of going, oh, that's not how we do it in Godot, and you're like, that is fine if you then tell people how you actually do it. Interesting. That looks like it might be promising. For simpler things, bodies with colliders can have mouse picking automatically. They might have a flag to enable and a signal. Yeah, that's what I thought it might have, to be fair. So if we go in here, there is, in the static body, there is obviously ray pickable. Did I look at the wrong place? I did look at the wrong place. I looked at the wrong place. Okay, cool. Let's do it through that for now then. I am curious. Let's just get rid of that for the minute. Because I am curious how you do it, VFig. So you said that you used project ray? Where exactly does the project ray stuff live? Well, I say that, and for some reason the autocomplete stuff is not working currently in this, is it? That's unhelpful. Why is the autocomplete not working? Visual Studio autocomplete. Not working. Godot. You already installed the extension. Initial setup. Sorry, thank you. Vfig. If you port .get camera 3D top project ray origin Okay. Now, it is saying that there is a bit of an issue with the IntelliSense. So let's just try attaching. See if we can actually get this. There we go. That seems to be working now. So that should then mean I can do... camera transform? Dot project. Oh, there we go. Project ray normal. Returns a normal vector in world space to sort of projecting point on the viewport rectangle. The inverse camera projection is used for casting rays in the form of origin normal for object intersection or picking. Project ray origin turns the 3D position in world space as a result of projecting a point on the viewport rectangle by the inverse. Okay. Okay, so I guess I need to get the mouse point. Dot mouse. Do we have a mouse-like location? All right, that's the next thing to look up. Event mouse button dot position. Okay, it's saying get viewport dot get mouse position. Okay, that's cool and useful. And that will then return us a vector 2. And then we had project ray. I don't think I really know what the difference is between project ray normal and project ray origin is. The normal vector in world space returns a 3D position in world space. I really just want to get the item back. Oh, I see. I really just want to project a ray in and then get what actually is hit. So I think maybe I am doing this the way that it doesn't really want me to do it. Okay, so let's have a look up collision object 3D and see what these things do. That's probably what I need to learn. Signals emitted when the object receives an unhandled input event, positions the location of the world space, the mouse pointer on the surface of the shape. Emitted when the mouse pointer enters any of this object's shapes, requires input rate pickable to be true. Due to the lack of continuous collision detection, this signal may not be emitted in the expected order if the mouse moves too fast. The signal may also not be emitted if another collision is overlapping it. Index shape. That's going to be a problem if we're using this to tell when people have clicked. So fundamentally what I want to be able to do is say we're in here. I want to, if the, I don't know why I don't know why that's broken either. I want to be able to just say, like, if I click on here, I want it to trigger a thing that I can then do something with. The issue with the other thing is if we have the input in and out and they return in the wrong order, that's a problem, because then we could be in it and clicking and it not working right, which is why I tend to use kind of when you click, doing a raycast into the scene and it getting the thing that it is hit and dealing with it that way. I guess I want what you mentioned before, physics direct intersect ray thing. I think that's what you mentioned before, VFig. Where I actually can project array in. I assume that's probably returned by something else. Yeah, okay. Provides parameters for physics direct space state 3D dot intersect ray. Intersects array in a given space, ray position and other parameters are defined through that. Returned objects dictionary of the following fields. Where's the RAD? Yeah, this all feels like something I'm going to look up later. I am just going to admit defeat and say that it's going to be buggy when I do this. So, in which case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this. Oh, no, not that one. We're going to connect this to camera 3D, which means I need a thing in here. And we're going to do the same thing for exit. Like that. And then we will have just a private bool. Just do this. And to make sure stuff's actually happening, we're going to stick some debug print statements in as well. And we'll grab this one and we will go to this, connect this one, Oh, no. Where do we think we just put that? That was in the wrong place. We wanted to point at that one. And do that, and I bet you didn't store the name, did you? No. Also, you don't appear to be right either. So you disconnect. You disconnect. You disconnect. Let's try that again. Entered. Connect. Oh, Connor, I accidentally deleted that. Fantastic. Connect. Stop unselecting. And connect that one. Okay. Try pressing play and see what happens now. Okay, so that is effectively doing what I wanted via signals. So you can see down here, as the mouse goes over it, it's colliding and then leaving. The only thing I want to make sure of at some point is that stuff gets occluded correctly. I don't think we need to fiddle with that for now. Okay. So, if we're doing that, we probably don't want this on the camera. We want to put an actual thing in here where we call it a light controller or something. And then we want to take this into here. This into here, and we'll have to redirect the signals, etc, etc. That should be fine. Let's do that now before I forget. We click here, edit this. We want that to connect to there. Don't know why it does that weirdness. Disconnect that, connect it to there. Save that, save that. Now in here, in process, we can do if input dot let's set our input in. We have a nice, any good default ones for clicky clicky. You know what, we're just going to define our own one. Add new action, mouse click. Add. Left mouse button. Cool. And I've immediately forgotten what I called that. Yeah, just mouse click, that's fine. So then we can do if input dot oh god, what was the one that we named, that we needed to call it from before? Let's go and have a quick peeky at our previous tutorial. Input dot is action just pressed, mouse click. We also want to say is if mouse over. We can do gd.print light clicked, just so we have something to debug it. Okay, cool, so that's working. So then we can do something really simple where we update the light. And I guess the easiest way to do this is to have another material. How does that one look? That one looks kind of off. So we want to have some external stuff. This is when I now need to remember the Godot from before. By remember, I mean desperately look it up. Because we need to... I want to be able to pass in some materials. Probably in here, that will say, isn't it? Yeah, it's export. So to export public material. On material, get set, public material, off material, get set. And then here, if we go to our inspector, close all this up. Our script is down here. We need to build it to make those things appear. Appeared. Why have you not appeared? Let's just make sure it's not something really silly. In here. Oh, it's because they appear up there, you silly sausage. I always... Ugh. It was something silly, and the silly thing was me. Okay. So we've done that. Then we hit build again. Get all this issue that I'll fix another time. And then we can have the off material. We can have the on material. And then we'll just have a Boolean here again for is on. We'll start on. And here we say if is on, and I'll tell you what, we're going to cache as well. The thing that we need, a couple of things we need to go grab. A private node to cache this child light, and a private. What was it called? Mesh instance 3D. Now the question is, can I do this dot material? Yeah, that's a get set. That one is probably locked. Set material. Okay, let's just do this for now. And then if it's on, we're going to set it to off material. See if it's happy with me doing that. And then set is on false. Else do this, but the other way around. Then we also up here, so we don't need to store that. I did want to get this because we need to do the whole getting stuff from somewhere else in the scene, which was get node omni light. And from here it is just one step down. Yeah. Probably should name that something more sensible. It is what it is. And this will mean this equals this. Then we can do childlike dots. Let's figure out what we want to actually alter on this. Maybe just energy for now. Nice. That seems really, really basic. But it is also a really nice thing to be able to get working. Because what that means is, like, this isn't as... Godot is doing a lot of really fiddly stuff for us behind the scenes here. Effectively, it's casting a ray into the scene from our camera point into the scene to see when this thing is actually hit or not. And that's cool. So yeah, now what we can do is we can basically set up things so we can tell when our mouse is hovering over them or not, and then we can click on them, which is really cool. Now, one thing I do want to just confirm is that one thing I just want to confirm that this gets occluded properly. So let's add just do another static body 3D. We can add to that a collision. Yeah, give me a sec, VFig, and I will. And we're going to do a box shape. And we'll move that over there. We'll move that up there. Make this big. And we just will make sure that it's in front of here. Oh, amazing. So the occlusion is working. So if you look down here, we're no longer getting our signals being fired in and out. So what that means is the raycast is going in and hitting the first collision shape it sees. Because if I now do remote, that we talked about before, I should be able to turn that off. And now you see it's working again, because our occluder is no longer in the way. So that's exciting. That's very exciting, because that... Yeah. Not quite the way I'm used to doing it, and I'm sure I can do it the way I'm used to doing it, but it does work. So how am I doing the click handling? I've got in the static body, I've got the two signals for mouse in and out, and I'm just using those signals to turn a boolean on and off to say whether or not I'm in or out of the object, which is working well enough for now. It does seem say that there might be an issue with this, but I can't think of a better way to do it right now. And then I'm just, listening to a mouse click and testing whether we're in the object or not. That seems to be working pretty smoothly, actually. Nice. Okay. I thought you'd use the input signal on the static body, maybe. Yeah, you might use that. I didn't really understand that because I was reading about it. It wasn't obvious how that worked. Because if we go to connect here and we go to like the advanced version, it's just extra ones. What it said is that only dealt with unhandled input events. It's also giving a bunch of additional stuff. Like, you know, your normals and your shape ID and all this stuff. Oh, I see, yeah. It means it's just nothing else being used. That makes sense. Well, we can try it. Why don't we try it? Just see what happens with it when it actually triggers. Maybe this is a nicer way of doing it. Who knows? And I pointed immediately the wrong place. We want that to do in here. Please. Thank you. So void, all of that gubbins. And we then probably need this stuff. So I'm just going to it seems to want a node camera input event vector reposition. Yeah, are you upset that I called that event? Vector free normal int shape idx. Yeah, it might be. I was just wanting to type all the other things in first. Okay. Project's running, so let's close that and let's run that. Oh. So that fires an event every frame you are over something. Right. Okay, I see. So in that case, what we would do here is we would do well, that's a fair point. Why don't we just, can we? What happens if I just... Do you actually print the event nicely? That'd be interesting to see. Yeah. Okay, I mean, semi-nicely. So yeah, we're getting motion events and click events. All right. So that is obviously another way to do it. It's probably a bit more stable than this, because then what we can do is we can just grab basically all of this, put that in here. We just don't need that one in there. And we'll comment out everything else. Ooh. You're complaining because the receivers no longer exist. Yep. Nice. Okay, so that's actually a much neater way of doing it. Yeah. Good shout, VFig. Because now we don't have to worry about the in and out ones being like the enter and exits coming in the wrong order or anything. Okay, cool. I guess then this could be relatively easily expanded to do what I want to do, which is eventually we'll, not today because of how far we're through, but eventually we'll have some pieces around the board, and I want to be able to click on them, pick them up, and then move them. And how I've tended to do this in the past, but again, we will figure this out at a later date, is you kind of pick them up, and then I will probably have to change what the mask is looking for. Because once you pick it up, actually what I care about is then reading the mouse move over something that covers this, so I can then snap the thing I'm moving to the grid that will be implicit under here. And I think that should be relatively easy using this collision stuff, because we can, you know, set layers and masks and stuff, and then effectively I think we should then be able to change what we care about looking at. I'll have to figure out exactly how to do that. It might just be that I have a flag somewhere that kind of turns off whether you're looking to click on a piece or whether you're looking to click on the center part. I don't know. I will have to figure on that. I don't know what that one really means yet. A collision object 3D will continue to receive input events as the mouse is dragged across its shapes. I wonder if I set this to this. Okay, flicker warning, because this I suspect will flicker. Okay, so yeah, basically now if I click out here and then drag across, we're getting all of the events with the mouse move. I wonder if that's the same here. I know I should have turned on remote there. Here it is. Okay, then I'm not sure what that's doing at the moment. But that's fine, I don't need to know what that's doing at the moment. I will set this back though, because that's a much more understandable behaviour. Capture on drag means it keeps getting the mouse input events as you drag outside the boundaries too, I believe. Okay. Well, I mean, let's test that. We have capture on drag. If I press play, click in it, my mouse button's still held down. It's not really doing anything extra. So I'll do that. Oh yeah, right you are. It's a bit of a weird behaviour, because if you click outside and then drag across, it stops again, but if you click inside and then drag out, it still captures them. Fine. Good to know. Not what I really care about right now. I suppose then what I want to just check as a final thing for today is I can do a bunch of these. Yeah, I can do a bunch of these and it works with them moving, just for my own sanity. So I think what I want to do is add a path 3D. And I want to basically... I mean, yeah, roughly do something like that, but probably, you know, at least keep them mostly above the table. Although I don't mind them going up and down a little bit. Don't mind resource. Yeah, okay. I think that would be nice about this is if you could do like, it'd be really nice if you could do like Bezier curved paths, but not what matters right now. We want the path follow 3D. Yes, cool, because now if we do this one, we should see it. Yeah, there we go. Smoothly moving on the path. Cool. So, what I then want to do in the light... Oh, it is it? Not Alts, not Control. Ah, Shift. What an entirely unobvious thing that exists in it. Can I... Oh, no. Next question is, can I then break them apart as well? Let's just move that over there. I'm now just fiddling with stuff I don't really need to fiddle with. We have got a slightly smoother path there, and that's kind of what I was wanting. So now if we do the path follower, we should get a... Yeah, okay, cool. Loop, tilt enabled. I don't care about the tilt. Fine. What I was going to do before that very useful interjection from the chat there, so I was going to get a path follower, 3D follower, and then I was going to do okay. Just make sure that's in the correct. No, it will actually be path 3D slash path follower 3D to get the what I want. Now, just because I've imported this library as well, I'm going to do this via a coroutine. Now, I absolutely don't need to do this via a coroutine. I could just do this in process, but I've imported it. I want to try it. Enumerator, double, move camera. Cool. So this is something external, some extra code that I've brought in, and it allows me to do a bunch of fun stuff. for this, what I kind of want to do in particular is I can do like yield, return, what was the timer dot wait timing. Using that timing dot wait a second, so I can say like I want you to wait for 2 seconds. Then you can do something fun where you go, this will have to be double loop time equals, let's default it to 5 seconds. Double time taken equals 0, percent equals 0, while percent is less than 1. Time taken equals timing dot delta time plus equals, and then percent can be time taken divided by loop time, and then by default we could then just do yield return timing dot wait 1 frame, and this would then just, you know, increment a percent slowly. What we can then do on this is a follower dot progress ratio equals percent. Oh, you're afloat. You're all. I was trying to be helpful. We just need to do a cast there to make everyone happy. Okay, so this will then move that follower around as this runs. What I've got to do is timing dots run coroutine move camera. That. And then finally what I want to do is this dot transform dot position, or this dot position, I guess. So I'm so used to having to do this dot transform dot local position. It's nice that you can just do this dot position. Now, assuming I've not messed anything up, that should then make our light move around that path after a fight, like a wait. I mean, kind of. I guess. Oh god, they're 3D Beziers, of course. Let's just bring it all up a little bit. Save all that and run that again. Let's see what actually happens. Wait for a couple of seconds. Then it will move. Don't feel like it is following that path properly. It's definitely cutting in sooner. Incidentally, the reason it is jumping is because what we need to do up here originally is just set it at the start of the path. That should then be happy. Definitely doesn't feel like it's returning to the same place, though. Why is it returning to the same place? But it definitely doesn't feel like it's following that path correctly. Which is strange. Now, part of the reason I'm doing this as well is it should take 5 seconds of this path. So let's just confirm that quickly. So it starts moving. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Yeah, close enough. But what we can now do is we can use this easing stuff I introduced so long ago, and we can do easing dot ease in out quad, pass that value in, and now we'll have much nicer movement immediately, hopefully, if it all works, where it will accelerate out, do the loop, and then slow back down to come in for a nice landing. Okay, so I don't know why it's doing that bit. I mean, I don't hate it, but it's not the behavior I'm expecting. I wonder, is it because there's something... Is my transform with the light off? That will be why. Oh, hang on. It's because as I'm moving the light, I'm also moving the path. That's a really bad idea. That's a really bad idea. Let's not do that. Oh, you silly Billy. Oh, why's my music stopped? Let's get that going again. Okay. Let's see if that is what we want now, because that will take us up one step and then hopefully back down again. See if that now follows the path we expect it to. Now if we make that 0, 0, 0, so it doesn't have an offset, hopefully... Oh, that shouldn't affect it. I guess this is now off. Yeah, okay. So that's the path it's following because of our transforms. Yeah, okay. So... what we can do is we can grab them all, move them over here, move them over here. Let's just make sure this is all working. Save everything, run that, and now is that doing the path I'm expecting to? Kind of perfect, except there is a bit of an issue up here where we've now got loads of nodes because of the path closing. No. Take that and close the path, please. That should be a bit better. It's a particular reason you're not making the light a child of the path follow 3D, but positioning it with code. No. Apart from in the tutorial, this is how it tended to do it. Is it used the path for random positioning, so that was just the version of it I was used to. Yeah, basically just that was the version I was used to from the tutorial. I'm pretty sure putting it as a child would be absolutely fine as well. I often like doing this just so I can faff with stuff later. In particular, if I want to ignore one of the axes of motion and just make it go flat, but still have the curved path. But yeah, the answer is no. It's just how I was expecting it from the tutorial. Okay, so that is cool. Now what I want to do is make this loop, and one of the ways we can cheat at making this loop is by doing this. That will now just basically loop until I stop the coroutine. But part of this is so I can Still not quite sure why it's doing that, to be fair. Still not sure why it's doing that. Let's just turn that off for a second. And gd.print, just get the percent. Make sure that's not doing anything silly. Okay, so it finishes there. When it's like this, it does stop itself happily. So if I then run that again, why is it then going backwards? So the percents are going up and easing as we'd expect. Okay, now it's working exactly how I was expecting it to, so I don't know what's happened. That's cool. Now, let's just make it a lot slower so I can click it as it's moving to make sure. So I was originally wanting to just do a simple test of is making sure that I could still happily click it as it was moving. No, not always. There is occasionally not responding. That's interesting. I wonder if that's if it gets too close to the camera. There's a hole like where the raycast starts probably is the near camera plane, so if it gets too close, I don't know. Yeah, so it is mostly working but not 100%. I haven't left a silly collision shape somewhere either, have I? Not by the look of it. Anyway, that's working now. Yeah, cool. That is working now. I guess then, if I wanted to do another light, I could set up another path. You know, stuff it. Let's set up another path. Oh, then I'd have to have no. Let's say export public node follow node. Let's make that get set that. Get rid of that. Don't need that anymore. Cool. And then in here, let's hit that build button. We can say I want that one. And then for this Omni light, I can say I want you to be very, yeah, let's say magenta. Stuff it. And then what I should be able to do is duplicate these two, make an entirely different path. Can I get a top down? Let's just hide the room. There we go. Make an entirely different path. This light, I guess cyan, and it's in this follow 3D, and hopefully that means we'll have two lights following two different paths. Probably need to make the room appear again. So that light is following that one. Just that path. That light, I want you to follow that path. Or is this one of those annoying things because I've duplicated again? Let's path 2. Path 1. So I've been caught by that before. So that's following path 1. That's following path 2. Okay. Let's have a look-see. I mean, that's definitely following path 2. Alright, let's get the remote going again. Definitely feels like they're both following the same one. Just for my own sanity, let's rename both of these. Oh, hang on, I can't do that because of the... They've got the same script on both of them. In fact, do they both have the script on them? They must do, right? Yeah, that's got light controller. That's got light controller. so that's minus 6.2, 2.4. Yeah, so they're definitely following the same path. Because I've copied these, isn't it? So I've managed to change both the paths. Arg. Okay. Path 3D. Path follow 3D. Light 2 can have that one. This we can do like clicky, 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 clicky. Link back up. Move these ones all above the table. Yeah, the whole moving of these Bezier curve things is super broken. Like you press shift to try and pull them out and they just really like breaking. Yeah, there's definitely a bug in this version of Godot for them, let's put it that way. They will do well enough for us for now. Probably. Okay, let's just grab this one over here. Bit. Now, hopefully, if we play it, we should have two lights following different paths. There we go, that's what I wanted. Like, it is obviously entirely pointless and not very helpful for what we want, but it is something that's useful for me from a learning perspective, because hopefully as well we can now also turn off the lights individually and just have magenta light on, or magenta and cyan, or just one or the other. So this is actually really useful for me because we've now gone through to a stage where I'm using coroutines, I'm able to raycast into the scene and click on objects, interact with them. They're all feeding into the lighting. Coroutines are working, my easing's working. Nice. It's the only other thing I could do, should probably give them a bit of difference as well, is export public float. Yeah, loop time. And then we can pass this into here, this into here, and then we can make the build button to make them appear. One go at 15 and one go at 23, and that will then mean they're syncopated as well, and they'll move in a much more interesting way. We'll be able to see the easing as well behave a bit. Yeah, the clicking is not working perfectly. Might be partly on me. That one is really going for it. That's probably part of the issue. How are we getting negative percentages? That doesn't feel like it should be possible. Anyway, cool. Okay. I think I'm probably going to stop there because I've got, something working. I'm not entirely sure what it is or what the point of it is yet. But I've done a lot of learning again today. We've got global illumination in, which is a surprise. We have kind of sort of mostly working clicking on the items. Well, one thing I say that one thing I definitely do just want to check, because I wonder if there's I'm wondering if it's not doing the input in the first frame because it's calling these and consuming them. So I just want to disconnect these. To see if that fixes the issue I was having. Might not. It probably won't, but no, it doesn't. It's definitely a bit of a odd issue that sometimes the clicking just does not register. The other thing I can think of to check really quickly is to see if any of these listen to left click, and if so, remove them. I don't actually seem to. It's just sometimes it's not triggering. So when I'm clicking, it is not firing, like the event's not happening, it's not turning off or on, like it's not flipping properly. So, so for example, here it's working okay, but then sometimes, like I'm clicking multiple times on it, and it's not changing. There's probably a bug somewhere with what I'm doing. Should change that to this really. Sorry, that even. Examine the event argument, see if it's an input event mouse instance. If so, check it is pressed properly. Okay. I mean, that's a fair point. I probably should be using this anyway. Okay. Let's just do this. String name action, allow echo. Say false true. Just see if I put this in here, if that's any better. Or indeed works at all. Yeah, that seems to be working a lot happier. So I reckon there's some weird conflict where sometimes it was getting consumed somewhere else. Yeah, so that's working as flawlessly as I can tell right now. Maybe should make them go a bit slower. That might help. So let's make you 30 and you 35. Yeah. That's working much better. Okay, good to know. We can query the event directly for pressed and released. Useful. Cool. All right. Well, I've tried to wrap this up a couple of times now. I should probably actually officially wrap it up now. That has been really useful. I think we've learned how to do effectively testing what we're clicking on in the scene. It all occludes properly. That's super powerful. And we've got coroutines running, although they are occasionally breaking for reasons I don't understand just yet. Because I'm definitely resetting it all. Anyway, that is bugs that I'll fix at another time. Yeah, I'm obviously doing something weird there, but I guess that is it for today. We have, you know, very much just started a prototype, but I know, I think we've learnt, at least I've learnt some really useful things, how to set up basic environments, work a bit more in the Godot structure that it's expecting. I do like the path and the follower thing. That is useful. It's very useful. I might be using those quite a lot for when I get further into this and I'm moving cameras around for defining camera moves and stuff in the world and making them a bit more dynamic, which is always a bit fiddly. Thank you again to VFigure in the chat. Sorry about the slight issues we had halfway through with the streaming. Hopefully I didn't mess up the first half too much. And yeah, let's finish off by enabling all of the competing global illumination, seeing how that looks. I suspect probably quite similar. Yep, doesn't seem to compete in the real world, in the actual loaded one. That's a shame. But you know, I think we could probably up the glow and intensity a little bit as well, if we really wanted to. Oh, there we go. That's more what I like it to look like. Yeah. Now that is definitely some bloom. Some might say an unnecessary amount of bloom. And those people would be correct, of course. It's fun that you have the different blend modes, so I like that. There's definitely some fun to be had there if I do that and then that. It's definitely some fun we can have. Oh, you can do replace as well. That allows you to do some really weird nonsense. Let's go back to what it was. Yeah, you can fiddle with the HDR scale and luminance and all sorts of things. That's all very fun. I'm going to reset these auto defaults now because I've probably broken everything. Anyway, on that note, thanks very much for watching. And I'm going to go have a break now because my brain is hurting from learning a new engine. But have a good rest of your week whenever you're watching this, and see you again for the next Sleepy Sunday stream, hopefully.